Joining us to discuss the situation in Syria is Mustafa Ahmed Manaf, who is a journalist joining us from Baghdad in Iraq. Thank you very much for joining us today. I really want to look at these clashes that we've seen, Mustafa, and I want to look at how the impact on peace can really be affected by what we've seen. Do you agree, firstly, with what Turkey have said, and how might this disrupt the peace efforts from the new Syrian government?
First of all, this will not affect or get impact in the peace agreement with the peace agreement that Syria has said about it. Everything is going well. Even the clashes happened in Tartus and Latakia. It's between the Syrian military and the old regime government that goes to the Al-Assad people. They are fighting with each other, but it will never affect the regime. It will never affect the peace agreements between the Turkey and Syria. Everything is going well right now. Just last week, President Erdogan said that more than 133,000 Syrian came home back from Turkey to Syria. So it's not going to affect anything. The Syrian people are living the good life that they are having right now. They are happy with their life, and everything is going well. But you know, there's all countries have its old regime terrorists that wants to come back to their country. I think everything is going well, and there's no effect in the region and the countries beside it.
Mustafa, I'd like to get an understanding from you for our audience of what the current status quo is within Syria. Of course, the Assad regime was toppled, but I want to understand, and I want our audience to understand, how much support still remains from that regime and how much support is there for action like we've seen and clashes like we've seen against the new Syrian government.
Let me tell you this, there's no support whatsoever from the people to the Al-Assad and his family again in Syria. There's no support. The only support they have is their only little dogs, we say. I'm sorry for the word. They call themselves, they are the dogs of the Al-Assad. They call themselves that. They are located in Latakia and Tartus right now. But like I said, the military, the government, the Syrian Free Country government military are now engaging with them in Tartus, and I think it's nothing. They are so little. A small group that wants to defend the Al-Assad and their family. But there's no support whatsoever in the people for Al-Assad and his family.
Mustafa, also looking at a wider geopolitical impact from clashes like this, I know you say the support is limited, but is there a risk potentially that if clashes do escalate in another scenario, that it could cause wider instability in the Middle East, to places like Iraq, and also potentially into Turkey, hence the reaction that we've seen?
Like I said before, it will not going to affect any of the countries besides Syria. Like I said, the Turkey last week, the refugees from Turkey to Syria are going. More than 133,000 Syrian is returning home, and the Syrian borders are more secure than ever, especially in Iraq. In Iraq, where the government has secured all the borders between Iraq and Syria, it will not affect the people. The people in Iraq are supporting the new government in Syria. They are saying that they are doing the right thing. They just come out from the darkness to the light for once in their life. Finally, it's been more than 30 years in the Al-Assad family, in the government. Like I said, it will not affect any of the countries besides Syria. Everything will be the right thing. They are doing the right thing right now. It's like a river. boat floating in a river. Everything is fine. It will not affect any of the countries, not now, not even in the future.
Yes, and Mustafa, to bring our discussion to a conclusion, the situation, of course, in Syria is still very unstable. We've spoken on this programme before about the sheer levels of unemployment, the amount of people living in poverty, the amount of time it would take at the current trajectory for the country's economy to recover. So what more can other nations do outside of potentially just the Middle East to make sure that that rebuild happens and the people of Syria get the support that they need and the government get the support that they need to make sure that Syria can be rebuilt to where it wants to be?
Well, we have to stick together. As an Arab country, Iraq are planning to stick with Syria, even though there's a small talk about from the Shia part that they are saying that the new president are bad, especially for the Iraqis, because Iraqis, most of them doesn't want to help the new government because the president of the new Syria have problems in Iraq. One of them, the bombing that happened in 2006, the Iraqis are accusing the new president of Syria. So most of the Shia and most of the Iraqis doesn't support the new government, but some people here in Iraq and some people all over the world want to support Syria by giving them the right amount of love and the right amount of support that they need from the world so they can rebuild again. There are the countries like Turkey, Iraq, Jordan. They are helping right now Syria to rebuild again and see Syria the sun again from the past 30 years. Now it's the time for Syria to see the sun and have hope like any humans in the world.
Mustafa Ahmed Munaf, thank you so much for your insight there. We really do appreciate it.